there was a guy I had known for about 2 years, and he was sitting on the floor, and he was just minding his own business. And keep in mind, I know a couple of these people, they had played with like Ouija boards. They were very intrigued by the occult. And he's sitting there, and then randomly he's on his phone, and he drops his phone. His eyes get wide, like he's scared of something, and he covers his ears. And then I couldn't see with my eyes, but something grabbed him and threw him across the room. He flew across the room, crashed into a bookshelf, fell down next to a drum kit. He's convulsing. And the girl in the room ran over, and she started touching him, and she was like, oh my gosh, do we need to call an ambulance? And there was just something in my spirit. That's the only thing I could describe it as, my spirit, that said, you should touch him. So I said that out loud. I was like, let me touch him. And I reached down as this guy's convulsing, and I touch him, and he stops convulsing. He turns around and he stares at me from the ground, and he screams at me directly, do not touch me. And he stands up, because we all freak out. He stands up, we all back up. He grabs both my arms, and he starts to tell me that he's going to kill me and everyone in the room. And in that moment, it's like everyone unanimously just clicked, like, we know what this is. Even, I think some of them didn't even really believe it at the time. But I just started praying. I don't even remember exactly what I prayed. I think I said something like that he had, the devil has no power here, that Christ has all the power. And I broke out of his arms, and his grip was like insanely strong, but I broke out of his arms. I put my hand on his head, and he collapsed. We put him on the bed, and thinking about this, it's like surreal. It's like straight out of a movie. It was still one of the wildest experiences I've ever had. But we put him on the bed, and he couldn't move. He could only look, and he could only talk. He could not move his body. And I asked him what his name was, and he said his name was Sam. And when we talked to him for a little bit longer, we started connecting the dots that it was like Samhain. He would refer to like Samhain, which at the time I didn't know what it was until I looked it up. And that's like I know it's pronounced another way in like the actual language, but it's like the Celtic demon of Halloween, and like the Halloween festival. The festival of Samhain. It's kind of what Salem basically celebrates. And then I laid my hands on him and I prayed, and then he came to. And when he came to, he looked around, he was like, what happened? Where am I? He's like, I remember smoking a cigarette in the garage, and then I blacked out.